Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining today. My name is Avital. I'm a product manager here at Wellness Living, and I'm joined here with Sina, who's the Director of Product Experience at Wellness Living. And we are doing a re-recording of the Release 63 training that was done live on Thursday, November 21st. We did have some technical difficulties during the live webinar, so we are re-recording it for your viewing. So in this webinar today, we are going over some key features that we are releasing in the next update coming in December. So Sina will be going through those key features and demoing them live in our staging environment. So it is our test environment where we go through the features that we're releasing before they're released in your live environment. So these features are not available to you just yet, but they will be in December. So without further ado, I will hand it over to Sina to run through these key features.
Thanks, Avital. Hi guys. My name is Sina. I'm the Director of Product here at Wellness Living. I'm going to be demoing 5 features for you guys today. They're listed here on this screen. The first one's going to be the client profile. We've given it a bit of a facelift. We've met with probably dozens of customers, right, Av? Would you say? Like a
Yeah,
lot of people.
definitely. Yeah. And we did
Yeah.
do a huge survey out to over 500 of you.
Yeah, so thank you for everyone who responded to the survey or took the time to meet with us. We tried to incorporate all of your feedback, and we think the new client profile is a big improvement over the last one, but you be the judge when it's ready to play with. We've made some UX improvements to Form Builder, just quality of life things to make your life easier when you're building and managing forms, and I'm going to demo for you. A new element for forms side by side, so useful for those of you who are already used to our image markup element. Lets you put a picture in there, draw on it, mark it up. Now you can actually do that with 2 images side by side. So I'm looking forward to demoing that. We've redone the attachments page on the client profile. Again, quality of life things, added the ability to drag and drop attachments, and it also talks with forms. So I'm going to show you how uploading an image in a form actually also saves it to the client's attachments page. Finally, we're also going to be talking about visit receipts for appointment-based services and how those can help you for record keeping when appointments are paid for or they're not paid for and you want to print out an invoice for the amount owing. So without further ado, let's actually get into the demo. I'm going to share our demo environment. Can you see okay, Av?
Yeah, all good on my end.
Okay, cool. So we have a client here, Damon West, pulled up. You'll probably notice some new things in the layout right away. First off, we've kind of switched to this 3 grid view. You have the grid here on the left, the grid here in the middle, and the grid here on the right. Depending on how big your screen is when this goes onto our production environment, you may only see 2 columns of data, but that's okay. Everything's here. And the biggest improvement with this release is you can actually now customize all of these individual cards. A lot of the feedback that we got was all over the place. Some people loved notes and they only wanted to see profile notes right at the very top. Some people didn't use the tasks feature at all and it was just clutter on their screen. So we've now actually added the ability to customize all of these things when you're viewing a client's profile. You can click on the 3 dots in the top right, hit customize. You'll get this neat little window, and this lets you turn on and off individual cards from the client profile and actually drag and drop to reorder them. So if check-ins are not important to you from the client profile, you don't ever do that, just turn it off. But if notes are the first thing that you want to see, then just feel free to drag them to the top. The other major thing that you're going to see are these summary cards that are in the middle of the screen. These are quick stats that help you with the client. When was their last visit? When was their next visit? At a glance information you'd like to see, like their account balance. There's helpful color coding. We've also made alerts pop out a bit more, changing the colors of alerts. We've added this little red border here when the client owes money or is in collections. So just a lot of quality of life improvements when we're talking about the client profile. The last thing I want to touch on here is the ability to actually expand and collapse any of these sections and have that be persistent as you're switching between client profiles. So one of the pieces of feedback we got in the user feedback sessions is a lot of people didn't care about any of this profile information. It just wasn't important to see at a glance. It was much more important to actually see all the relationship a client has. So what we've gone ahead and done is let you actually collapse this info card it tucks away. You still see important things like all of the client icons that follow Damon around in the UI, but now the relationships panel is front and center, and I can always see Damon's relationships, quickly switch to them, and back to his profile if I need to do that. So overall, all the same information, just presented in a neater way with the ability to customize it and collapse it as you see fit. And each staff member can have their own customization. So if there's different preferences between different members at your business, no problem. You're not going to affect each other by editing this or expanding, collapsing the various sections. You think I got it all, Av?
Yeah, just one other thing that this will apply to all of your clients in this business. So if Sina were to go to a different client, then the same customizations will be kept for that other client.
Yeah, so you can see Dale's thing is still collapsed. So just a consistent experience as you're doing admin work on different client profiles. All right, awesome. The next thing I want to talk about is forms. So I'm going to head
Sina,
over to.
before you jump over to forms, do you want to just quickly go over the new summary cards, key metrics that we've added?
We have their account balance. You're used to seeing it as this little icon that follows them around under their name, or you could also go to account and billing and account balance, but we've actually just printed the amount out here, and it'll also display even if it's a positive amount. That's another piece of feedback we got is I would like to see if my client has credits on file. Before you had to go to the billing and account balance page to see that, but now it's right here on the overview. Like I was saying before, last visit and next visit, if they're booked, and the ones that have arrows can actually be clicked as shortcuts to go to the client's attendance history or upcoming. A sum of their lifetime visits, their average monthly value and lifetime value. So these are calculated based on all the purchases the clients made, but it's only a net sales formula. So it doesn't include things like tips or other allowances like that. We'll have a tooltip when we actually go live with this that will actually explain what the lifetime value formula is. But yeah, that's another interesting add that we have. And we're also working on getting a report to let you view the lifetime value for all of your clients together in one place. But for now, it just lives on the client profile. Cool. Next, I want to move over to forms. So we've just made some usability enhancements to the actual form builder. Actually, a number of them are pretty similar to what we've just added to the client profile. So the first thing is the ability to collapse these individual fields. One of the pieces of feedback we had is when you're building a big form, multi-page or many different sections, it just becomes unwieldy and difficult to manage. So you can actually now collapse all the sections with a preview, edit the required state. Another useful function is the ability to duplicate any of the fields. So if you've already gone through the trouble of setting up a question just the way you like it and just want to tweak one small thing about it, you can duplicate. It'll add the exact same field again, and you can just make the tweaks as you see fit. We've also added the ability for live preview of the form, so there's no need to actually add the form to a client's profile to see what it would look like. You can just go to the preview tab and you'll see exactly what the user filling out the form would see when they're submitting it. Of course, all of your form settings are still here that you're used to, and there's a shortcut to get to the responses as well, so no need to leave the form editor to do that. There's also a link up here to copy the URL for the form. So if it's a direct URL that you want to publish on your website or embed in an email, you can do that. And the kiosk mode is something that we actually released last update that lets you open the form on a kiosk interface like a tablet or an iPad and have clients fill it in one after another in person at your studio. So if you weren't aware of that option, that's been there since the last release, and do make sure to make use of it. The other thing I want to call out that we've added for forms in this release is a new element called side by side. So this works really similar to image markup, just really one difference, which is now there's two images and you can mark them up left and right of each other. So by default, the fields are labeled before and after. So this is great for any sort of comparison that you would like to show. So for example, if we're talking about a health and beauty business, if you want to do before and after of injections on a client's face, or if we're talking about PT, very common to take pictures during that first intake session of the client's body composition and then show progress over time. A lot of different use cases here. So you can actually upload images when you're creating the form template, and those you'll be able to mark those up when you're filling in the form later. Or you can actually wait until the moment that the form is being filled out to upload the image. And another great feature is that this is also going to be available on the Elevate Staff app. So if you're filling out these forms on the go, you want to use the camera on your iPad or phone to take a picture and then upload it directly into the form, you can do that as well. Did I miss anything with the side-by-side app, or does that pretty much cover it?
Not with the side by side, but I did just want to highlight that another piece of feedback when working with the template was when dragging and dropping the elements. If you need to rearrange the
Oh, yeah.
questions, it took a long time. And now,
Hmm.
when you have the collab state, you'll be able to easily drag and drop wherever you need to arrange those questions as needed.
Yep. Just small quality of life fixes. Okay, cool. Let's move on to the attachments page. So I'm going to go back to that client we were reviewing earlier, and I'm going to go to documents on the left and then attachments. So this page was long overdue for a refresh. Again, just a number of quality of life fixes. Number one being the ability to just drag and drop to upload files. And you can actually drag and drop multiple files at a time. They'll all upload together. The other big fix or big change is the ability to preview files. Before you had to download them and save them even to see what was in them. But now for images and PDFs, we do support previewing them directly within the app. So you can open the image, zoom in, zoom out. Download it, of course, if you want to. Same thing for PDFs embedded right into the client's profile. And the third big thing is integration with forms. So any images or files that get uploaded in forms will automatically be put onto the attachments page. So if you don't want to sift through the client's forms to find that specific before and after picture that you uploaded using the side-by-side element, you can just pull up their attachments page. They'll be listed here in chronological order, and then you can, of course, preview them or download them as you see fit. Cool. The last feature, the fifth and last feature, we're going fast this time because we're not doing it live. We're not slowed down by the questions. Is the visit receipts functionality. So this is specific to appointment-based services. Does it work for asset reservations too, Avital?
Just appointments.
Just appointments right now, but if you guys want it rolled out for assets, please let us know. So I have a 60-minute massage here with the client, Jeff. It's been booked for today, but he hasn't paid yet. So you'll notice at the bottom of this appointment slide out interface on the schedule, there's a new little printer icon. And if you click that, you have the options to access the visit invoice. In this case, it's an invoice because Jeff hasn't paid, but once it is paid, it's going to be a receipt, and I'll show you what that looks like. But if I go ahead and I go to print the visit invoice, I'm probably going to have to reshare just so you guys can see what I'm seeing because it does open in a new window. One second, bear with me. Here it is. So it looks really similar to a receipt, but it does indicate the amount owing for the service. It indicates that it's unpaid, and you can then email this or save it as a PDF to provide the client. And I'll just go ahead and pay for this one really quickly. Actually, before I do that, the other useful piece of functionality is you can actually put provider-specific information on these receipts. I probably should have done that first. So I'm going to go over to my setup, go to my staff and staff members, and I'm going to choose one of my providers. We have an awful lot of staff in this business. I'll just pick Steven. And we have an ability now to add, well, we always have the ability to add custom fields for staff profiles, but you can now take any text input custom field and turn on a box, this on-off switch to display it on the visit receipt that I just showed you. So if I have a license number here for Stephen, and I go ahead and save that input, then if I go back to the schedule, and if I go back to the receipt printer and I do print visit invoice, I have to reshare again so you guys can see what I'm seeing. Underneath the service name is going to be the provider's name and then that custom field. So in this case, I've just named it license number and I put in this value of 12345, but you can name the field whatever you want. So this is great if you have RMTs and you want to put in the registered RMT number. nurses, a bunch of different applications here. So this will appear both on the visit invoice and the visit receipt. To show you what I mean when I say visit receipt, first I have to pay for this visit, so just bear with me while I switch screens again. I'm going to go ahead and check out for Jeff. I'm going to pay with his membership. And the pay button disappears because now we're all paid up. But if I go to the printer, it now says visit receipt instead of visit invoice. So if I go ahead and print that, and I'll have to reshare one more time, last time I promise. It now indicates that it's paid. It's paid for with his membership. So it actually lists the name of the membership, subtracts the amount owing, and shows the total amount owed as $0. So that basically covers the visit invoice and visit receipt functionality for this first iteration. I know this is exciting for you guys, but we're going to be adding full invoice functionality going into 2025. So the ability to actually send that visit invoice directly to the client with a pay link, that's going to be coming. As well as a number of other enhancements that are tangentially related to this one. So if you have feedback on this feature, we would love to hear it. Please don't hesitate to let us know. One more thing we want to share with you guys before we hop off is a preview of our new online store interface for clients. So what I'm showing you on my screen right now, this is not live yet, but it will be soon. This is the new online store widget. So if you have a website and you're using our widget suite, or if you have a Presence custom website with us, you'll be able to use this new widget. When's it coming out, Avital, roughly?
Sometime in January, we're hoping.
Okay, I think early January, so it'll be a New Year's gift from us to you, but it just has a sleeker, more modern interface. I can't demonstrate just how good it is because most of the improvements we've made are for mobile. It's a mobile first design, and right now I'm showing it to you on a desktop, but effectively we've moved the store category filters over here to the left. We added a persistent shopping cart in the top right. You can add things to your cart, go to the cart, review what you got, subtotal, proceed to checkout. There's a unified search across all the categories, a new checkout interface. In this case, I'm already signed in, so it's asking me to update my profile information. And then if I did that, I would be able to go to the checkout. I don't know if we've actually gone as far as to build the checkout yet, have we?
We have.
Oh, okay, cool. So I can actually demonstrate that too. Of course, I don't have a last name on this client. Here's the checkout. One click to add a discount code or gift card, which opens in a little modal. And then I actually don't know if I can add a payment method because we are on a demo environment, but this pop-up would allow them to input their credit card details, of course, use their address from their client profile, whatever, and then actually finish the checkout, which I can't show you right now because it is a demo environment. But if anyone is interested in giving us more early feedback on this design before we actually go to production with it, please do reach out and let us know. We have shown it to a lot of users already, and they've been very happy with the changes, but we want to make this as polished as it can be before it goes live. And with that early preview, I think that pretty much covers it, right, Av?
Yeah, thank you, Sina. You did a great job running through those key features. And as Sina mentioned, any feedback, any suggestions you have, feel free to reach out to us. We are here with open ears. All right, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today, and we will see you in the next live webinar.
Bye.